to do next? We're not doing the bridal stuff, right? No, that would be kind of weird. Are we doing trumpet voluntary? Yeah, that could be good. Trumpet voluntary. All repeats are good. So repeat the first two lines, lines 3 and 4. 25 on, and then you go back to the beginning and play the first two lines at once. Trumpet voluntary, so it should be right up top. Oh, there it is. Yes. Look at your repeats carefully. Tell them to look at their repeats carefully.
Look at our repeats carefully.
Lines 1 and 2, repeat. Lines 3 and 4, repeat. Last two lines, repeat. DC, no repeat. Got it? Good. So,
Is that the accordion?
So it's 1, 2, like that. Winter. So it's 1 and 2 and grab your part. Just do slow.
You guys have the 16th now.
Yes. Yeah. Ice and loud. What's that? A major, A minor.
It's sort of the key change.
Yes. A major, A minor.
Playing it through and then run back to the beginning.
Trying to remember. A bunch.
I used to pass it.
Played it a million times. No? Absolutely not.
Are we doing theme from first symphony?
I don't know. We'll see what time it's like.
It's 6:11 right now.
Bing, bong, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rigadoon, right? 1, 2, 1. I get blinded. All right, so let's see. Yezu? How far are you playing in Yezu? That was one that you put on your list.
Wait, what's next?
Yeah. How far did you play? Did you play to the whole thing? Or the downbeat of 30 minutes? Whole thing? Exactly. Somebody Yezu, so it's 1. Give me random version. Then when you're done, I'll just take all your music, just throw it on this stand.
You want it all to be in order?
Nope. It's a half hour. Several weeks. All set?
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021, let's give them a round of applause. You can stay standing, please, as we stand for the national anthem. You can now be seated. For those of you that don't know, that was our new auditorium. It's fabulous, and we thank our singers, our talented singers, for putting that together. This is awesome. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I can't tell you how invigorating this is to be in a room with you all in person, seeing smiles and excitement. On behalf of myself, the Board of Education, our high school and district administration, faculty and staff, and the class of 2021, welcome to the 87th commencement of Bethlehem Central High School. I would like to take a moment to thank all those involved in making tonight's event a success, more specifically, those who are not listed in the program. The behind-the-scenes efforts of our clerical staff and maintenance staff often go unnoticed, but their assistance is critical in the organization and setup for the event. I'd also like to thank Mr. Corey Fong for putting together the graphics that you see on the screens throughout the arena, Mr. Jason Dashew for putting together the recordings and music, and Mr. Dave Beck for our orchestra ensemble tonight. Thank you. It is also my honor tonight to introduce many special guests in attendance this evening. On stage, we have our Board of Education members, President Ms. Holly Dillenbaugh. Ms. Willow Bear is not with us, but she's here with us in spirit. Ms. Christine Beck, Mr. Jonathan Fishbein, Ms. Meredith Moriarty, Mr. Chris Meyer, and Ms. Wendy Sampson. Also on stage with us is our superintendent, Ms. Jody Monroe, and our assistant superintendent, a well-deserved Dr. Dave Hurst. We have the Director of Special Education and Student Services, Ms. Kathy Johnston, our Chief Business and Financial Officer, Ms. Judith Kehoe, our Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Ray Nardelli, our High School Assistant Principal, one of them, Ms. Heather Cullinan, our Counseling Supervisor, Ms. Kristen Connor, and our high school counseling staff, Mr. Tyler Anderson, Ms. Kate Burkhart, Dr. Lisa Carr, Mr. Scott Collerton, Ms. Elizabeth Colleton, Mr. Darnell Douglas, Mr. Ryan St. John, and Ms. Deborah Z. Thank you for being here tonight with us. Very important people on the floor with us. Our marshals for tonight's ceremony. If you could please stand and remain standing until the end. Mr. Lester Bitor, Ms. Corey DeFabio, Mr. Nick Ferguson, Mr. Evan Harley, who is now with us, Miss Megan Jackson, Mr. A. Mahmood, Miss Christy Malzahn, Mr. Jeffrey Mung, Miss Lori Nolan, Mr. Matt Rabit, Miss Eileen Turo, Mr. Michael Valenti, Mr. Michael Waldemeyer, and Miss Jessica Weimer. Thank you. You sit. Also, last but not least here for my administrative crew, Miss Nicole Conway, please stand, and Mr. Jim Smith over here. They do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work as well. Thank you, guys. And last but not least, I would like to recognize all of our staff who are in attendance, seated behind the graduates and throughout the arena, and our graduates, families, and friends who are joining us virtually tonight. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I know that's long, but it's very important to acknowledge all of those that help us get here. Class of 2021, you're a remarkable group of individuals. However, it was what you have done collectively that will leave an everlasting impact on our community. No other senior class has ever endured the challenges and loss you have. But yet, you manage to continue to find ways to stay optimistic, provide hope for others, and to set the example for the rest of us. What you might not have realized is that my greatest fear leading up to the school year was how our students would adapt to the drastic changes in our building. We went from allowing you freedom and independence to restricting every movement. From greeting each other with those much-needed smiles we all need, to be masked and not always even recognizing who each other were. From interacting at events to having them canceled. You all could have rebelled against the logic that didn't always make sense. Instead, you accepted that we were all in this as a family and a community and set the example for the younger students who look up to you. For this, I will be forever grateful. Thank you. I've considered myself lucky that you responded the way you did and reflect on the accomplishments and sacrifices you have all made throughout your academic career. But the truth is, this was not luck. This is evident to me when I walk in the halls of our building. Since 8th grade, I have seen you set the example and provide inspiration and hope. Whether it's your interaction with staff or peers, involvement in clubs that serve to advocate for others, or creating positive artwork and images in our building. You have always worked to make BC a place that is better now. That began when you first set foot in your kindergarten classroom. Everyone in this arena has watched you grow and walked with you through your journey. They have been by your side through good and bad. At this time, I feel it is appropriate to recognize the staff and family members who are with us in person and watching virtually for all they have done to support you. Thank you all. Receiving your diploma is the first step of many great accomplishments in your lifetime. It is often bittersweet as you think about it. This is the very last time you'll be together as the class of 2021. I know I'm always conflicted on graduation day, as I am so very proud and happy, but also very sad to see you go and move on to the next step of your journey. I take solace knowing that perhaps one message may stick with you all as you reach that next stop. I stole this message from one of our many positive displays in our building. It reads, Be bold enough to use your voice, brave enough to listen to your heart, and strong enough to live the life you've always imagined. Bold enough to use your voice. Never be afraid to let people know who you are and what you believe in. It may not always be the popular thing to do, but if it is important to you as an individual and will garner you respect in all walks of life. Brave enough to listen to your heart. I know how much good you all have inside of you, and our world needs you to continue to listen to that voice inside that tells you what is right and what is wrong. Use it as your compass to stay on the right path or navigate through challenges or missteps you will face in the future. You all deserve to live the life you've always imagined. As you process out of this arena today, you will almost immediately be faced with uncertainty about your future. Never let fear get in the way of taking a risk or putting yourself out there, even if failure is a possibility. Trust me when I tell you, fear of failure will be your greatest obstacle to living the life you've always imagined. I'm going to read you a segment of the message I read to you at your 8th grade graduation, at the time my son was 5 years old. It reads, "Last week I was putting together a tiered shelving display, another Amazon delivery that tested my ability to follow directions. My 5-year-old son, who loves putting things together, quickly came to my aid, asking if he could help. While I was deep in thought, trying to figure out the directions, my son started using tools, attempting to complete the task at hand. After coming to the realization he had gone unsupervised for the last 5 minutes, I soon realized that my son had done what my son had done and that I would need to spend some time taking apart what he put together. As I felt myself becoming upset with him for not asking permission or waiting for me, I blurted out a reprimand. I quickly shifted my response, however, after seeing his face. Even though he failed to put the structure together accurately, he tried. He was excited about something new. He tried, he took a risk, and he failed. It was okay, and he needed to know that. So I thanked him for trying, and together we gave it another shot. In the years ahead, you will have new challenges and great opportunities. Be true to yourself, take risks, be different, ask questions, stand up for what's right, take care of others. You will make mistakes, as is the case with all of us in this room. You will not be perfect. When things do not go according to plan, do not let failure be your fear. Let it be your motivation. Class of 2021, you will all be missed, but always remember we are better because of you. Thank you. I'm honored now to introduce our first student speaker, Juarda Sulo.
Thank you so much. A little bit. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juarda Sulo, and it is a pleasure to stand right here in front of you today, celebrating one of the most important days of our lives, our graduation. Your presence makes it even more special, so thank you for joining us. Going back to the beginning of this adventure, I don't think that we all have the first day of school story. For some, it was nothing new. The students just changed the building. And for others, like me, it was something completely different. My story is this simple. I moved from Albania to Albany in July 2018, rented an apartment, and started school where my cousins had already registered me. I can't tell you enough how much they insisted on me attending this school, but after 3 years, I understand why, and I am so thankful for the choice that they had made for my future. So today, I would like to share a little bit of my high school experience as an immigrant. I remember the moment when I entered Bethlehem High School for the first time. People that I didn't even know greeted and complimented me. I noticed the flags of different countries hanging in the hallway, and it made me feel like I was home. A nice lady approached to me with a smile on her face and her arms extended, wanted to hug me. That nice lady turns out to be my homeroom teacher. She called me a sweetheart and spoke to me like I had known her for years. And she kept smiling and greeting me every morning. At first, I struggled getting used to this because I came from an opposite world. I had to switch from loud voices to soft ones. However, it turns out that I did not have a hard time creating a connection with my teachers. They were second after my family in terms of people I could ask for help. I remember how one teacher helped me find a family doctor and how another explained to me the American celebrations. All these little things made me realize that besides having a teacher, I had also gained best friends. Even though I was able to speak and understand English when I came here, I know for a fact that even if I didn't know anything about the language, I would have learned it at school so easily. Many thanks to all the teachers who helped us on our journey of knowledge. But it wasn't just teachers who helped. My fellow classmates had helped me a lot too. The first friend I made was the one who shared a copy of the high school map and made it easier for me to find the classes. Then the circle expanded, and we would hang out in cafeteria where my friends would explain to me how Google Docs and games on PE worked. So I was not alone in learning all this. I had them next to me, and this just gave me more strength. My friends, I'm so happy to see some of you at Siena College with me next year, and the rest of you will be missed, but I will wait for your upgrades on social media. I know that every single one of us will be starting something brand new for the first time next year, and we are scared of the unknown. Before I get deeper into this, let me tell you something. I could not drive when I first came here, so I had to use cdta.org all the time in order to get to places where I wanted and explore them. I was so afraid I would miss my stop or get lost, which sometimes happened, but that did not stop me. I lived in a neighborhood with people of different age, and I still managed to socialize as I was attending the community's activities where we would have bingo and trivia night. I tried to fit in the culture, the rules, the tricks, and many more by staying strong, trying everything out, and showing myself. So I'm here to tell you that I faced the biggest change of my life, moving from Albania to the United States as a teenager, and I'm standing here today stronger than ever. I got here by not being afraid to ask for help and forming connections with friends and teachers. I was so scared to start over again in a foreign place, but I constantly reminded myself of what I would get if I never gave up. I kept motivating myself through reading inspiring song lyrics that followed me along my journey. Don't make excuses, I would say. Make efforts. And maybe some of you will face the same thing when you move out to college. So I'm asking you today to find your own fighting spirit and supporting mechanism. Take that next step confidentially with a big smile on your face. I know that transition to college is going to be hard, but hard does not mean impossible. Sometimes I think that changes are exactly what you need in life in order to build the future you. I'm aware that each one of us had a unique adventure at the high school, and I know that today we stand proud and ready to go a step higher. I could stay here and talk all day, and I still wouldn't be able to express enough how lucky and thankful I am to have attended this school and create memories with you. Congratulations, class of 2021. I'm sure today will be only the first of many proud and successful moments for you. Thank you.
Now honored to introduce for our senior address, Natalie Qualie. Take your time and tell me if that's good for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Because of COVID, 3 words we've all heard too many times. We talk about the loss, the loneliness, the sadness, and the uncertainty that has resulted because of COVID. We talk about delays, cancellations, fears, and limitations. We wonder why it's here and when it will all be one bad dream. We try to avoid talking about the monotony of living the same day over and over again. We force ourselves to get used to it, to let go of our high expectations, to trust that things will improve at some point. We don't allow ourselves to feel guilty if we feel deprived, robbed, and broken. We know others have had to deal with so much more, and therefore we have no right to be upset. But in the midst of all this, through high winds and heavy downpours, I've watched my fellow BC Eagles spread their wings and soar. Because of BC, we are unshakable, unstoppable, and unmatched. We are fueled by ambition and persistence. We turn setbacks into success stories and hindrances into hope, and we are united as one forever. In the past year, I've watched my peers discover themselves, overcome fears of judgment, and shine as their true form, unapologetically. I never knew some of you were such talented artists, musicians, chefs, health instructors, and influencers. When our options were limited, we worked creatively within our boundaries. I saw my peers explore and admire the outdoors with a new level of respect. We had picnics, bonfires, and outdoor games. I myself was encouraged to explore the outdoors by some of you, although I'm not much of a nature enthusiast. I hiked through the Adirondack Mountains and discovered new trails and preserves throughout upstate New York. Many of you found yourselves enjoying things you'd never experienced before. I saw an overwhelming change in attitude at school. I'm so cold and I'm so tired turned into, it's so nice to see you again, and I'm so excited to be back. My peers were so much more appreciative of their limited time in the classroom. They were excited to see their friends and teachers. They had no complaints. Attending class was transformed from a duty into a distraction, from a chore into a chance to enjoy the company of our peers again. We treated this opportunity as such because of our BC heritage. We aren't a divided group. We aren't afraid to reach out. We are one group, one community. We guide each other. We compliment and encourage each other. We listen to each other's struggles, and we support each other through them all. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was a short and awkward middle schooler trying my best to fit in with scoliosis. One day, I decided to wear my back brace over my clothes. A student who also suffered from scoliosis told me I inspired her to be unashamed of her brace. I gave her confidence. She made me proud. We made each other stronger. We do not feel the need to compete with each other, and we do not pretend we are perfect. We admit our struggles. We support each other. We are not envious nor jealous. We understand how hard each person has worked for their accomplishments. We've all navigated the academic and extracurricular challenges our school and community present us with. There was never a position unfilled. There was never an empty club meeting nor extra help review session. When I was in 9th grade, my global history teacher held a midterm review after school. There were actually students who sat on the floor and on windowsills to be able to attend. We have an unmatched work ethic. We push ourselves and each other to be the best we can be. We have a special bond as a community, a knot tied together by support and love. When I was in 8th grade, my math teacher was pregnant. My class organized a surprise baby shower for her. We weren't a typical class. We were a family. We are taught by incredible teachers who are strict and have high expectations. We're grateful for that. We know they have our best interests at heart. They make class entertaining and are there for us whenever needed. They go beyond what is required of them. They're happy when students reach out to them for help. A teacher of mine met with me for an hour to guide me through an assignment. Another reached out and checked on me outside of class. Many stayed with me after the bell rang, even when the next class strolled in, just to make sure I understood the material. Do you remember the teachers who did this for you? I will never forget the teachers and other staff who have been such a huge part of my BC education. They are so approachable and develop a special relationship with each student. They are always there to listen, guiding us through our many struggles. They are so available to students. They listen to any request, no matter how crazy, and they listen with an open mind. When we share our goals with them, They support us enthusiastically and encourage us to follow our dreams. The BC staff take on their job, along with the job of a therapist, mentor, friend, and parent. They go above and beyond for their students without expecting anything in return. We can always count on them. As the positive, compassionate, and zealous BC Eagles we are, it wasn't surprising we turned because of COVID into a positive statement. Because of COVID, we grew as individuals. Because of COVID, we became stronger together. Because of COVID, we soared. Eagles, never forget the place that made you diligent, passionate, supportive, and kind. Because of Bethlehem, we will be prepared for whatever life throws at us. Because of Bethlehem, we will outwork our competition and achieve the unexpected. Because of Bethlehem, we will be unshaken by a challenge. In fact, we will benefit from it. Because of Bethlehem, we will show care for everyone around us. No matter how far we go, we will always be BC students as individuals and a BC community together. Our wings will fly us through high winds and heavy storms, and who knows, perhaps they'll fly us back to Bethlehem someday. Thank you.
Wow, awesome. Honored to introduce and thank our superintendent, Ms. Jody Monroe, for everything she's done for us this year. Thank you, Jody.
Good evening. I'm so happy to be here with you. Members of the Board of Education, our honored marshals, building and district leaders, parents and families, and all of you, the class of 2021. March 13, 2020 was a day that you will likely remember. This was the last day during your junior year that school and life was typical. The fact that we are all here together this evening is something that we should be incredibly grateful for. When I think about your high school experience compared to our prior graduating classes, it is hard to anticipate how this time period will influence your future. I know for many, you feel a loss. Some of you may feel angry or scared, and most likely uncertain about what the future holds. Whatever your emotions, they're justified. And I do believe the experiences you have lived through will give you the strength and perspective as you move on to your next path, wherever that may lead. In the last year and a half, we have seen the best and worst of humanity. We have seen uprisings and challenges to the status quo, in protests that should cause us to pause and not only think about where we've been, but more importantly, where do we go? And how do we get there? Families have dealt with tremendous losses and setbacks that will take time to recover from, and communities need to rebuild for a future beyond COVID. With all of these challenges, it could be easy to lose sight of the positive and the best we have seen in others. Essential workers who risk their own lives to keep us going and who work to save the lives of others without hesitation. Scientists who spent countless hours developing a vaccine in record time. People who came together to support and care for each other in celebrations to mark small victories against the pandemic. Even for those of us right here, it could be easy to focus on things that have been lost, but I prefer to focus on the many accomplishments of the class of the 2021. Collectively and individually, despite the pandemic, you persevered and have left an indelible mark here at BC through your accomplishments in the classroom, in athletics, on stage, and after school. Peter Kloshevitz and Nicholas Watson were named All-State musicians. I believe that was the first bit of good news we shared this school year. So I'd like to thank Peter and Nick for that. They weren't the only ones being recognized for their musical talents. Braden Carn performed with the Metropolitan Opera, and Emma Edgar created a first-of-its-kind sound walk in Albany for the Empire State Youth Orchestra. And somehow, there was not only a spring musical, but 2 other stage-to-screen productions at the high school this year. Just 2 weeks ago, our girls lacrosse team won the sectional championship in a nail-biter. And speaking of championships, the boys' tennis team won their 3rd in a row this year. The unified bowling team took home this year's trophy, and the lightning feat of your classmate, Tal Hemmel, finished 1st in the 200 meters. Naira Santalese reached state competition in Poetry Out Loud by bringing poetry to life when life was online only. Justin Dong, Jonah Eng, Anthony Han, and Sunny Sun helped deliver an outstanding performance at this year's Science Olympiad, turning in the top performance for any school north of New York City. Students in the ad agency class designed several eye-catching logos for local not-for-profits and local businesses struggling to gain an online presence during the pandemic. One business that didn't struggle this year was the school's thriving greeting card business, Paper Pastries, run by our RISE students, 4 who are graduating today. Students of Alana were guest storytellers in many elementary classrooms only this year via Zoom, and lab school students found a sense of normalcy in helping others with a hygiene drive that exceeded their own high expectations. 27 of you have earned the first ever seal of biliteracy, heading to college or work with a unique and worldly advantage. And 3 of you, Ellie Cromling, Selinga Wang, and Danye Reinrab, had your artwork displayed with the best of the rest from the Capital Region last spring. A number of you kept our spirits up with surprises from the Guerrilla Art Club, and 2 of your classmates, Natalie Qualie and Avery Daggett, designed and handed out 2,200 pins of positivity to help us keep moving in the right direction. I'm wearing my pin today. It says hope. I'll admit it would have been helpful to have had this button a year ago, because to be honest, I found that my own stockpile of hope ran low at times. While it was easy for me to see what essential workers and healthcare workers were able to do for our community, I had my doubts about how we could reopen our schools, and I struggled how we would make it back to a graduation ceremony like this one. I'm generally a goal-oriented person, but no amount of visualization or planning could have taken the place of these 4 little letters in a situation like we have experienced over the last 15 months. I felt fortunate to be surrounded by people who were able to restock my faith in people and my hope for the future. Sometimes life forces you to look for it, to look for hope. But I see hope in you and your commitment to making this world a better place for everyone. I see hope in this crowd of people who love you. I see it in the people on this stage who were instrumental in getting us all to this moment. So as you leave here tonight, my wish for you is that, in addition to what you've learned during your time in Bethlehem, you will always leave room for hope. As we have seen, plans can go sideways, goals can get turned upside down, but there will always be people who can give you hope, if you're willing to look for it. So congratulations, 2021. You will always be welcome here at the BC, but the world awaits, and you are more prepared than any class before you to make your world your own. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce the President of the Board of Education, Ms. Holly Dellenbaugh.
On behalf of the Board of Education, congratulations to you and to all of your families. It is a privilege and a joy to be here with you in person to salute your accomplishments. You should all be extremely proud of what you have achieved. The last 15 months have reminded us how much we depend on each other, as much as we might like to think of ourselves as pretty self-sufficient. So whether they are able to be here with you tonight or not, as you celebrate, I ask you to take a moment to think of and recognize all of the people that have supported you as you reach this milestone. Think about the difference those people have made in your life, and remember that it's not a bad thing to ask for help when you need it. We all need someone in our corner. I also encourage you to take a minute to ask yourself how you can pay it forward. How can you support others in your community? How can you make a difference for the people around you? There are lots of ways to come up with an answer, but I think that one way is to start by asking yourself, what am I for? Most of us can fairly easily rattle off a list of things we're against. You could even take a page from the old Groucho Marx song, whatever it is, I'm against it. But I think it's worth it to flip the question around and consciously think, what am I for? It's not always an easy question to answer, and some days the answer might even be as simple as being for extra cups of coffee or cider donuts. But I bet if you continue to explore new ideas, if you stay open to possibility, and if you retain your capacity for imagination, inspiration, and optimism, you will find your own answer to that question. And everybody's answer is going to be different. I have no doubt that this class, which has shown such determination and perseverance, especially over this last year, will make a difference and will achieve whatever it decides to. So congratulations again to the class of 2021. We can't wait to see what comes next.
All right, now for the fun part. Ready? I am proud to present the class of 2021 with their diplomas at this time.
Eric, Mark, Abby. Caitlin Rael Acosta. Brad Agba. Michaela Alfred. Sahil Amin. Grace L. Apuzzi. Isabella Atek. Maria Beatty. James Ball. Bazit Ali Baloch. Logan Barden. Casey Benzing. David M. Barron. Julia Berner. Olivia Berner. Lucy K. Betts. Molly Beers. Deacon Michael Blackwood. Isaiah Bodner. Sarah Abigail Brock. Andrew Broccoli. Jack Bronk. Emma Brown. Congratulations, Haley. Haley Brown. Ryan Brown. Liv Bryant. Michael Bryant. Jack Berman. Maggie Marion Burns. Catherine L. Cable. James Calderon. Elena Rose Canova. Benjamin J. Cardinal. Kaylee Carlson. Jackson Carroll. Maggie Helene Cartwright. Rose S. Castagna. Anessa Sekunjanen. Clara Rudolph Chaplin. Alan J. Choppy. Caitlin Chung. Emily Clarizio. Brianna Marie Clark. Annika Marie Clark. Kelsey Klassen. Grace Cleary. Rachel Close. Anna Charlotte Colano. Jacqueline Jane Conley. William Halton Connors. Isabella Rose Contento. Samuel Cooper. Gavin Creaser. Joshua Daniel Krellin. Isabella Noel Cremo. Ellie Rose Cromling. Mario James Cabello. Dayton Cubio Dreyer. Avery Cole Daggett. Tyler M. Demeyer. Brett J. Daniels. Rihan Dara. Aaron Davis. Taylor Caitlin Davis. Samantha Day. Gavin DiCrescenzo. Abigail DeFranco.
Let's go, Joey.
Joey Del Signor.
Hey, Joe.
Isabella Hope Demarest. Anthony Christopher Dennison.
Here we go, Jay.
Jaden Montgomery Deschamps. Maya T. Day. Gabriel Diamond. Grace DeBacco. Nicole DiCarlo. Caldonia Dickerson. Justin Evans Dong. Fiona Donnelly. Brianna Doran. Cameron C. Doyle. We're going to hold. Craig T. Drybush. Caitlin Dubin. Kira Rose Duffy. Joseph D. Dwyer. Emma Violet Edgar. Aislinn Ryan Edmonds. Benjamin H. Eisenbraun. Jonah Eng. Isabella Evangelista. Zong Nam Fachetti. Mia Choyu Farley. Matthew Felsky. Lucas Feltman. Eric Dieter Fisher. Michael Fishburne. Ainsley Fisk. Tony Ferezzi. Aiden J. Fournier. Adam Timothy Fox. Skylar Friedman. Tommy Jeffrey Frank Jr. William Paul Frost Jr. Emma Fuller. Olivia May Fergelli. Joseph Patrick Furlong. Matthew R. Fuscus. Samantha Fuscus. Asia Grace Garcia. Julia Garrison. Madeline Gatchell. Amelia Kate Giesler. Michaela Gelber. Marcus Vito Gentile. Emily Elizabeth Gerard. Madeline Gertzy. Marco Philip Gibbons. Kelsey Winter Geisowitz. Daniel Brennan Gillespie. Ben Goldberg. Taylor Goodfellow. Catherine Googans. No, over there. Kendall Gordonier. Gregory Gould. Walter Patrick Gould. Andrew Gower. Lily Teresa Graff. Allison M. Grant. Allison Marie Gray. Liam G. Gregory. Christina Sophia Grigas. Vlad Grigoriev. Caitlin M. Grossman. Juliana Marie Hagan.
Yeah.
Frank Haight. Tal Hamill. Anthony Hahn. Elizabeth Grace Hancox. Liam James Hannafin. Graham Hardiman. Maggie L. Hartman. Joseph Raymond Harvey. Julia Rose Harvey. Genevieve Heffernan. Elsa Ruth Hennessy. Caroline Jane Hennessy. Madeline O'Connell Herrick. Julia Marie Hewison. Matthew Ryan Hicks. Elizabeth Ann Higgs. Deja Hill. Julia M. Hoffman. Noelle Elizabeth Holtz. Morgan Elizabeth Hopsicker. Eli J. Horowitz. Catherine J. Hotailing. Ethan S. Hughes. Danielle Hooley. Nathaniel Hussar. Zachary R. Eisenberg. Ashley Jabari. Lauren E. Jack. Jade Jagdath. John Janeski. Ryan C. Jeffers.
Let's go, Chief! Let's go, big boy!
Avery Jones. Catherine Jones. Derek Junko. Joy Jung. Ella Fisher Kabak.
Let's go, Ella!
Joshua M. Kachadurian. Madeline Kaplan.
Lock your money!
Braden Karn. Ella Lee Casper. Liam Kelly. Henrik Howard Kessel. Zosha A. Kessel. Mason Lee Kessler. Abigail Maria Klein. Peter William Klashevitz. Elizabeth Caffrey Kloss. Drew Klugman. Amanda Kate Cook. Maya Konecki. Ava May Koteri. Elena Christy Koutsouradis. Dylan Richard Kowalski. Ryan J. Kozlowski. Michael Dylan Kruger. Fiona Colleen Lacey. Bryn Elizabeth Leahy. John Peter Loricella. Jordan T. Lawyer. Regan Leary. Stacy Lee. Mason C. Lefevre. Maya M. Lamave. Patrick Tupper London. Nathan Christopher Leonard. Miranda Grace Lesperance. Nicholas Lafitte. Tyler Barcia Lippold. Chase Margaret Livesey. William Asher Lawrence. Soleil Pamela Lucarelli. Cassandra Lewell Omerai. Anna Luna Gastelum. Eamon Leiden. Colin Michael Lynch. Kylie N. Mahan. Caitlin Marguerite Mara. Isabella Anna Meritato. William J. Murata. Evan Joshua Marshall. Victoria Nicole Martin. Michael Martinez. Marissa Mastracco. Carla Brianne Matias. Hunter McAuliffe. Aiden McCaffrey. Grace Catherine McCann. Evan McCarthy. Ethan McHugh. Rory McFerrin. Brian McCaughlin. Alexandra Melendez. Carolyn Mentes. Elena Grace Mayo. Berfin Mert. Ryan C. Metcalf. Joseph Thomas Mosreen. Marissa A. Monteleone. Shane Morrissey. Megan Mullaney. Logan Mullen. Callie J. Myers. Owen Nath. Anthony Lawrence Nardacci. Thomas Nastars. Grant A. Nemovitz. Jonathan Neal. Cameron Camille Nichols. Megan Elizabeth Novak. Caitlin Elizabeth O'Connell. Evan J. O'Grady. Kate O'Keefe. Shayna Olbreeze. Riley T. O'Shea. Rebecca Grace Osius. Ryan N. Padgery. Ashley M. Parrish. Grace Pascarella. Evan F. Pastino. Grace T. Pastino. Nikki Patel. Cooper Patrick. Alexander Pattison. Haley Joan Peckham. Matthew Perillo. Jack Michael Parado. Paul Perry. Daniel Pfluger. Nathan James Fang. Nikolai Pasarenko. Victoria G. Pistilli. Nathaniel Plummer. Nolan John Powers. Holden Prescott. Natalie Rose Qualie. Jack Aiden Queenan. Lauren C. Quinn. Alora Robinstein. Aiden Douglas Scott Raffy. Andrew Stephen Ramsey. Jane Pace Reagan. Alyssa Noel Rabune. Nicholas David Reese. Julia Nicole Reichert. Matthew J. Rive. Madison Taylor Rich. Tyler J. Richards. Kamaye Richardson. Lauren Elizabeth Riker. Skylar Maureen Ritchie. Shay Carol Roberts. Benjamin M. Robinson. Sophia Romero. Abigail Rossi. Eliana Ruiz. Kinsey Jane Rush. Tyler William Salisbury. Gregory Alexander Sanchez. Naya Santalese. Jenna Christine Saubier. Madeline Grace Souders. Aiden James Scharf. Kiara Rose Savi. William Maxwell Seeberger. Catherine Nicole Sellers. Kian Sarowick. Rima Shah. Stephen Harrison Shaw. Simran Shenoy. Daniel R. Silvernail. Harman Singh. Stephen James Sitzer. Winston Slater. Samuel James Slurs. Kieran V. Sood. Cilian Soto Davila. Cooper M. Spence. Ty Sprague. Courtney Stevens. Ella McCare Stewart. Aiden Sticken. Derek Stroessel. Juarda Sulo. Sunny Sun. Ella Sutliff. Bryce William Swider. Samuel Tenenbaum. Ryan Gordon Teplitsky. Maya C. Tebow. Abigail Catherine Thomas. Zoe Ferrari Thomas. Alexis Skylar Tierney. Devin Emily Tejan. Tegan. Sohalia Nina Tiu. Luke N. Treadgold. John Cooper Adams Anthony Trossett.
Johnny, bro. I didn't know he had that many middle names.
Joshua Adrian Tu. Joanna H. Van Royen. William J. Van Amberg. Joshua Van Scoik. Sahara Nicole Veltman. Chelsea Vogel. Hannah Vorhar. Kelly Grace Walsh. James Walston. John Henry Walters. Selena Wang. Nicholas L. Watson. Jack Nicholas Weinert. Danya Chirino Weinrob. Liam B. Whelan. Shelby Maria Margaret Whitman. Robert N. Whitney. Lorelei Wilcox. Catherine Williams. Kieran K. Williams. Keith P. Winnie. Olivia Rose Witkowski. Donnie Ray. Heidi Marley Reed. Spencer J. Yarwood.
Graduates, if you would please now stand. You may now move your tassel from right to left. I now present to you the class of 2021. please back to your seats so we can finish with our final student speaker. You went against my recommendation, didn't you? Now you're going to have to find them all at the end. Warned you. Our closing is going to be given to us by student Jack Berman. Jack?
All right. Yeah, I might need it down a little. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. All right. Members of the Bethlehem Board of Education, Superintendent Monroe, Principal Domel, teachers and staff, parents and families, thank you so much for joining us today and taking part in this very special celebration. To my friends and fellow graduates of the Bethlehem High School graduating class of 2021, we did it, and we did it in a year like no other. How about another? Thank you so much for allowing me to take part in today's ceremony. I know how much this day means to me and to everyone else here. As Mark Twain famously said, there are two types of speakers, those who get nervous and those who are liars. So on that note, here goes, and I'll give it my best shot. One of the classes I enjoyed most over these past 4 years was public speaking with Miss Trombador. And one of the things she always emphasized was the need to choose a theme for your speech. From the graduation speeches I've heard over the years, a common theme is to give the graduates advice about the future and how they may want to think about and approach the lives they're about to embark upon. As an 18-year-old without too much world experience, I decided to consult with some of the great thinkers of our time to see if they could help provide me with some life tips that I could pass on to all of you. So, of course, the first source that I turned to was the legendary comedy team Monty Python. At the end of one of their movies, they summarized the secret to a happy, fulfilling life this way, and they said, try and be nice to people, avoid eating fat, read a good book every now and then, get some walking in, and try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations. Simple and obvious as that advice seems, I think they got it just about right. Sometimes the simplest answers really are the best ones. So building on Monty Python's wisdom, here are some other tips that I think may serve you well on your journey. First, work very hard. Bill Murray said that whatever you do, always give 100%, unless, of course, you're donating blood. Try to get every ounce of value out of your college experience. There will be many distractions and many opportunities to have fun. Part of going to college is about having fun, but whether you're in college or on the job, remember that you are there to work hard. Next, take advantage of the opportunity to learn about topics that you're curious about, even if they're totally unrelated to what you expect to do later in life. It could be a course in astrophysics, the history of jazz, a theater workshop, or Renaissance poetry. It really doesn't matter. Whatever it is that interests you, take some time to learn about it. I think it'll make your college experience that much more rewarding, and it'll make you a more interesting and well-rounded person. Third, make time to do some kind of community service. As President Kennedy said, to those whom much is given, much is expected. I've committed to the Army's ROTC program when I start at UVM next year because that's how I choose to serve. But it really doesn't matter. Just find something that's important to you, and that'll make your community and hopefully the world a better place to live. Yes, you'll be busier with schoolwork than you've ever been before, but try to remember that there is always someone out there who can benefit from your service and your time. We've all received help along the way. Why not pay that kindness forward? Next, be resilient. Be prepared for disappointments and grow from them. I don't have to tell any of you that this past year was an awful one in so many ways. Our parents and teachers did the very best they could to make this year as normal and productive as possible, and so did we as students. But I'd be lying if I didn't acknowledge that there were some really tough disappointments too. If you know me, you know I live for soccer. I've loved the game since I started playing at just 4 years old. So my teammates and I were crushed when Bethlehem didn't participate in the fall soccer season due to COVID. But the board also promised us that if it was safe to play in the spring, they would allow us to play then, albeit against teams outside of our regular conference. And that's just what happened. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't the season we had hoped for, but not much this past year is how we wanted it to be. And at least we got to play together as a team for one final season. So that was a really important lesson, one that I will always remember. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And sometimes you get something that's not quite what you had hoped for, but it's a whole lot better than coming away empty-handed. And of course, I'm not the only one who lost something this year, whether it was sports, theater, music, or anything else that you love to do. We all face some form of disappointment this year. But as Nelson Mandela said, do not judge me by my success, judge me by how many times I fall down and get back up again. In Kung Fu Panda, which I think we all can agree on is the greatest movie, Master Oogway instructed his young apprentice that yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, but today is a gift. And that is why it is called the present. Celebrate your victories and learn from your mistakes, but have a good time doing it. In other words, enjoy the journey. Today is a great day, a great accomplishment. Don't forget to thank your parents, your family, your teachers. Thank anyone and everyone who helped you get here today. Before I get to my final piece of advice, I hope that you'll allow me a personal point of privilege so that I can say, BC Shits and LMAV Elite for life. Final piece of advice comes from my mother. She told me to be very clear and very forceful when I tell you this. Here's what she said. Don't forget to call your family. They're an invaluable source of support for you. She promises that one day we will all come to see that sometimes parents actually know a whole lot more than we give them credit for. Congratulations once again to all my friends and classmates in the BCHS class of 2021. We did it. Thank you.
If we could all stand now for the alma mater. Congratulations once again. This concludes our ceremony. I just want to give a final sincere thank you to the families for all that you did to support the school and the students this year. Thank you again, and thank you for coming tonight. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Students, you will be dismissed by rows. Please stay in your row. Thank you.